when fandoms attack. Steve White's 89. I wanted to talk about fandoms. The He-Man fandom at the moment has been split apart by Revelations. This has been growing for a while because basically the show was attacked for being woke a while ago because they apparently were sidelining He-Man and taking him out of his own show and making the show just about Teela. And some people saw that as a political move and part of the culture wars. And of course, the left wing, the alt-right sort of geeks and gamers, fandom menace people got on that. So then, of course, the left jump in to defend the show. And it's just really messy now. And it's the same thing that happened to Star Trek with Star Trek Discovery, where that was politicized and people were radicalized on both sides. And if you like the original Star Trek, you're a troll and a gatekeeper and a racist. If you like the Discovery, you're woke. And it's just you can't win. You're either one or the other. You have to take a side and you have to attack the others, or you're not welcome. It's just really become tribal, and it's part of the culture wars. It's happened in America since Trumpism and all this stuff, and it's just really disappointing because as a genre fan, fandom is kind of important. Like I didn't have much fandom when I was a kid. I had one friend who loved He-Man, Master Universe and Transformers and all that as much as I did, but he eventually sort of saw that it was something that separated you from people, that it was sort of, it was a geek culture thing, that you'd be ostracized for it. So he kind of ditched me and the genre love for to be like normal. So then I was pretty much alone for a long time, poor me. And eventually, when I moved to Melbourne, I found the Star Trek fan club, one of the Star Trek fan clubs, and I joined that. And this was a few years before the JJ films came out, so it was around the 40th anniversary. So we had a couple of years of just fandom and just knowing people who love what I love and sharing it with them. And you're able to, part of fandom is just to immerse yourself in these universes and these worlds and these characters that you love, and to try and expand that sort of experience and share that with people. And it's a really beautiful thing. But unfortunately, a couple of years after I joined, the JJ films came out, and then it became very divided, and then even more so with Discovery, where it became very much you have to like the new shows, you have to like the new movies, the JJ movies, and that's what Paramount says. And if you are an old fan and you support the fan films, or you don't like the new films, and you don't like the Discovery, you're basically a troll, you're basically a hater, you're racist, you're a gatekeeper. And it was very much, and I won't say the name of this old Star Trek club, but it was basically, this is the studio line, this is what we approve of, and anything different than that is not welcome and will be shut down. So you couldn't talk. They'd have meetings and they turned into basically just preaching. You'd have someone give a talk, everyone would sit passively and listen. No one would really converse. You weren't really allowed to. And if you had any questions or disagreements, you were shut down right away because you were going against what the studio says and what Paramount says. And they'd literally stand up there in the back and say, no, you can't say that, you can't say that, no, you can't talk, because you're talking about things that weren't, Paramount approved. And these people got interviews with the actors and interviews with the cast, and they got a lot of, they shilled out for that, and they shilled pretty hard. And it was sad because they sort of sold out their compadres, and this is what's happening with He-Man. I noticed, I was one of the first people that did anything on the leak about it being Tila's show. Clownfish Media had their own inside people telling what was happening, and then there were other people who were just reacting to the screenshot from PowerCon with the synopsis of the show. That's what I responded to. And so it's been growing for a while, where people were accusing you of being a liar and a troll and just being negative and hateful and spreading lies. And then when it was revealed to be true that the show is about Teela and He-Man doesn't just step aside, he's actually killed in the first episode, then all of a sudden, instead of going, oh, gee, you were right, it got even nastier, it's like, oh, it just got nastier. And you can see the bots coming out, and all of a sudden the new show is the best show, and if you don't like it, you're a hater, and you're a troll, and you're a racist, and you're a sexist, and you're homophobic, and all this stuff. And it's all the same talking points thrown out, just the same as it was with Star Wars and Ghostbusters and Doctor Who. And it's the same politics, it's the same game, it's the same bots, it's the same philosophies, it's the same culture wars. It's just a mess. And it's just really depressing because like I was a member of a bunch of He-Man Facebook groups, and I would sometimes share my videos on there because with YouTube doesn't really, if you don't have a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers, they won't promote you, they won't share your video around, so people don't get much of a chance to see it. Whereas if you share it in like a group or something, then, you know, obviously fans will see it and they'll have a chance. If they want to watch it, they can watch it, you know, because it's there, they can click on it or not. But at least it gets it out there. And that was fine for a while, but as Revelation got closer, people started to say, oh, you're negative, you're a hater, we don't want to hear what you have to say, we don't want your hate here, you know, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, I'm just stating the truth. This show is not about He-Man. It's not a continuation of the Filmation series like they promoted it as, because they don't have the license for it. They've said this themselves. It is all about Teela. We've confirmed that. He-Man, at first I was told, Kevin Smith said they got rid of him after the first 10 minutes. The cataclysmic event is after, it's 10 minutes into the show. It's actually about 24 minutes in, but whatever. He gets about 10 minutes screen time, maybe. So basically I got kicked out of these Facebook groups. I got my posts were removed, my comments were deleted, I was insulted, I was I wasn't threatened, but basically people were just being really aggressive and angry and hateful, all because, well, if you don't like the new show, you must hate women. You're a misogynist, you're an incel, you hate strong women because you can't find a woman to have sex with. So, and I was called an incel that was making videos in the basement of my mother's house, and I'm like, I moved out of my home when I was 7. My mother is dead. I live on the top floor of the apartment building I live in. Australian houses don't have basements, and you know, you're just wrong about everything. I mean, and I'm gay. I'm a gay white male in Melbourne. I have sex on tap. I have no problems at all. Like, I'm not an incel. That's not the reason why I don't like this show. I don't have a problem with women. I grew up being raised by my mother with my sisters and nieces, and I have worshipped strong women like Madonna and Cher and Wonder Woman and all these characters my whole life, and Sarah Connor and Uhura and all these people. So you're just wrong. You're just pushing these points. You've just got this agenda, and you're talking about that. It's all about you. It's not about me. And that's just what the fandoms turn into, and it's just really sad, because you used to be able to escape into these worlds, and like I said, it was about prolonging and expanding these worlds that you loved and these universes and the escapism, and you can't do that anymore, because it has to involve real world politics, and you have to take a side, and it's just really sad seeing geek culture be destroyed slowly, franchise by franchise. And it's just really depressing. Like, if you're a He-Man fan, you should be able to go to a He-Man fan group and talk about He-Man or Masters Universe. It shouldn't be only people who like Revelation. If you don't like Revelation, you're not welcome. If that's the case, your Facebook group should be called Revelation Fan Club. But all these people who have He-Man and Masters Universe fan groups, and you can't talk about He-Man. It's just really sad. I don't know what else to say. I just needed a vent. I needed to have some YouTube therapy. I've actually made this video a couple of times, if you can't tell by my voice. But I kept going too much into the Star Trek stories and stuff. They really are their own videos. And they were just becoming too long. And I'm getting towards 10 minutes now, and I've pretty much covered it all. But it's just very disappointing, and it's very isolating. And isolation is already a big enough issue with COVID and all that. Now I've got to have basically all these groups, all these fan clubs, all these fandoms that I used to be a part of, now I'm not welcome there because I'm not part of the right faction anymore, because I have issues with the new shows. I don't hate them. I don't hate the new Teela show. It's fine. If they'd just done a Teela spin-off and called it that, people wouldn't have had a problem. It's just Kevin Smith attacking the fans has made it worse, because he's attacked them, now they're attacking him back, and they're justifying everything he said, and it's just a big nasty mess, and most of the fandoms are like this now, and yeah, it's just really sad. I just wanted to vent about it. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're having the same experience. Yeah, I'm just going to go and read a book, I think. Thanks, bye.